The first and best victory is to conquer self. Welcome to the Conqueror approach, a journey of self-mastery. To cultivate our mind, body, spirit, financial literacy, and allow our light to shine upon the world. Brought to you by me, your host, U.S. Navy submarine veteran and entrepreneur, Musa Mikkel. Let's conquer. Hello everybody, Musa Mikkel here. Today I want to talk about heart disease in America. And before we get started with the details and how we can fight this disease, I want you to bring to mind 4 people that you love the most. It can be anybody, wife, husband, mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever the case is, friends. And I want you to imagine them smiling, laughing, all those great memories that you've created with them, and all those future memories that you wish to create with them. And hypothetically speaking, not that I wish this upon anyone, but out of love is why I actually talk about this. Imagine one of those individuals, one of those 4, suddenly dying of heart disease. How would you feel? What would you miss out on? What would they miss out on? If you died, what would the burdens they would carry if you just suddenly pass away of a heart disease? Now, why do I start off with this morbid discussion? That is the statistic of heart disease in this country. 1 in every 4 deaths come from cardiovascular disease. Now, I have personal experiences with family and friends that I've lost and people I know who continue to struggle with this disease, as well as extensive nutrition research and collaborations with doctors and nutrition professionals across the country. We know that heart disease is the #1 killer in this country. But the worst part is it can be prevented and even reversed. Now, when we understand what is happening in our body and what we can do to change it and the mindset required, we can create lasting change. By the end of this discussion, we'll understand what is happening in our body, in our artery walls. We'll understand what we can actually do, what needs to be done, and what beliefs we need to adopt to actually create lasting change in our lives. Now, the Center of Disease Control, the CDC, estimated that 655,000 Americans will die of cardiovascular disease each year, and that number continues to grow. That's, again, 1 in every 4 deaths in this country. To put that in another perspective, every 36 seconds, somebody in this country will die of heart disease. What's going on? And what is the cause? Why is this happening? Well, the American Heart Association attributes one of the leading factors to this disease as high blood cholesterol, or bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. There's good cholesterol and there's bad cholesterol. The bad cholesterol is only prevalent in our body when we consume it through our diet. The combination between high triglycerides, which is fat in the blood, and high bad cholesterol attributes to the hardening of the plaque in our artery walls. The fatty deposit builds up from those foods in our artery walls, and that is coronary artery disease. This is simply the cause of the most deaths in this country. And how does it start? How do we eat so much meat that we are dying from heart disease? In our diets, those who eat a lot of meat daily, those fatty deposits are unnatural. It is more than our body can handle. They have to go somewhere, and they get clogged up in our arteries. What can we actually do to allow our hearts and bodies to heal? Make changes to our lifestyle, something we might have heard of many times by now. The Lancet, one of the leading independent general medical journals, conducted a study on lifestyle and coronary artery disease. They wanted to see if there was any link or any way we can fight this disease naturally through our lifestyle changes. Significant improvements in over 80% of the participants found that through their lifestyle changes, they had significant regression in their atherosclerosis and even the most severe cases of coronary artery disease without the use of lipid-lowering drugs or any fat-lowering drugs. And what they've done in this was changing the internal environment to allow for healing, create the space for healing within us. That included a low-fat vegetarian diet, quitting smoking, stress management training, and moderate exercise. Those 4 things. And that was the conclusion of this study. The information is here. The answer is in the patterns of our human behavior. Conscious versus subconscious. Our eating habits have become subconscious. We don't even think about it. We must bring that from the subconscious to the conscious. Understanding that begins with awareness. Tracking what you're eating and understanding consciously when you eat this meat, there's a higher chance that if you're eating it consistently, some of that fat is going to build up in your artery walls and over time will lead to problems in your heart. The next thing is understanding that we are responsible and capable of making change in our lives. Don't blame your family for saying it runs in the family, because those deposits of fat is not going to be in your arteries unless you continuously eat them. And that comes from the animal products that we consume on a daily basis. With that, we know it's the animal products that are causing this plaque buildup, and this plaque buildup is our leading cause of death in this country. It's not so sudden as we think. Sudden heart attacks actually have a lot of history behind it. It can be prevented and it can be reversed, understanding clearly what's really causing it, what actions we can take, and the mindset of taking it from subconscious to conscious and believing that we are capable of making that change. Now, your life is more valuable than the pleasure you take in eating those foods every day. Don't think about it from just your perspective, but think about it from the 4 individuals and everyone else in your life that will be missing out if you died suddenly. And for those who have people depending on them, what would that do? What burdens will they carry without you from something preventable and reversible? 655,000 people is way too much, and we're not talking about it enough. Think of the others. Think of the contributions you can make. Think of all the impact you can have and that you will continue to have if you remain healthy and protect your heart. Eat to live. Do not live to eat. That is all for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you found any value in this episode, someone you know will also. Please share, subscribe, leave a rating and review so we can reach more people, have a farther ripple, and a larger impact. Stay grateful. I appreciate you. And remember, you are a conqueror.